Tagline is where faith and comics meet. What was that? What was the? I'm trying to remember now.
Do we have a tagline?
I thought we'd do it at the beginning of the thing. I was like, we're at the meeting place. So anyways, it doesn't matter.
Whatever you say is good.
Whatever I say is good. Sounds
Yep.
good.
Only because Todd complimented you, though.
Better put the word out. Get ready for the nerd out. Better put specs on. Better bring next song. I cut handsome checks for my expansion sets. They call me Obi-Wan. Act like you know me, son.
Welcome back to the Full List podcast where comics and faith meet. We're glad to talk to you about comics and the things that we're enjoying in the comic world. I am joined by Mr. Faith and Fandom himself, Hector. What's going on, bud?
Oh, comic books and chaotic impending doom and existential crises and
Oh, we'll get to those in a moment. We'll get to those in a moment. I like to keep my head firmly buried in the sand. And so Hector's like, we got to talk about this. And I was like, cool, cool, cool. Don't know about that. Tell me all about it.
I'm always looking for news for like my Friday morning news podcast.
You got to fill
So
that hour and a half up, man. Got to fill it up. Make sure it's full of all the good stuff. So, or not the good stuff, all the stuff and some good stuff. But anyway, so we're going to jump back into kind of a regular format for what we've had in the past. If you guys didn't get a chance to watch our last episode, we pulled out some of our treasures, and I was a terrible person and didn't put any of my stuff back. So all my treasures are still on my desk. But today we're going to be looking at some new pulls, things that we like. We've got some faith content, like our comics. I've got some faith content in them. We're going to talk about those in a little bit. But first, we've got some news. Hector, I'm going to let you start with yours, and then we're going to jump to mine. So what do you got going on?
so if you remember and sensitive topics, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes.
Um
Little listeners need not pay attention, I guess.
I'll try not to be too explicit. Um but if you remember back when Charlie Kirk was assassinated, um a DC writer was fired from their position for making inflammatory comments, remarks about the shooting. And in that capacity, that person lost their job, and the entire Red Hood and Huntress book was pulled from shelves the day that issue one premiered.
Mm.
Um, and so, in that way, there's kind of been a precedent set for how the major companies are responding to such actions. Well, during the week leading up to this podcast, there was a shooting at the White House Correspondents' Dinner. Um, and immediately following um, the White House Correspondents' shooting, Marvel and DC writer Dennis Camp uh, posted "Missed Again." Then a little bit later, posted in the comments a picture of a dartboard and says "bad at darts." But it was obviously, referencing what the rest of the world thought he was referencing. Um, and there are companies and news outlets and things like that that are calling for his dismissal slash retribution for the same way that they did for the Kirk assassination. So I've not seen any official response from DC or Marvel at the point. I also don't know what I know that currently he's working on Absolute Martian Manhunter. He's the guy for that. Um, and he's also done some stuff with Marvel where he's made the new Polynesian She-Hulk and stuff of that nature. So I don't,
So I think I'm in agreement that we don't need to be making any comments that are celebrating the attempted assassination of anybody. You can look at it and go, whatever. If it was a terrible human being who murdered millions of people, and even still, keep it to yourself. Like, keep it to yourself. Like, even if I'm watching a TV show and these are fake characters, and I find myself really rooting for that brutal death scene, it's like, I really need to check myself here because that's just not something we should hunger for. Now, granted, I don't know that the author is that we're speaking of is Christian in any way, shape, or form. So maybe they have a different viewpoint on that. But I would say this: a huge difference though between the first thing you referenced and the second is the fact that Charlie Kirk died.
Right.
That is a big difference than this. It's still not kind. It's still not good. It's still not helpful. Any of those things. It's not inspiring. I'm thinking about that think poster. I use it all the time with my kids. Is it true? Is it helpful? Is it inspiring? Is it necessary? Is it kind? Think before you speak. It's none of those things. Keep it to yourself. Like stay in your lane. I remember feeling the same way. When others would use their platform to make statements like it's just stay in your lane. But there is a big difference there. Is he wasn't murdered, so maybe there's a little bit of leeway there. And I'm not saying that just because I like Absolute Martian Manhunter. That is definitely not polluting how I'm viewing this at all. Let's not say unkind things on X or anywhere, nowhere. No unkind things. Let's not do that. That's my thoughts.
Okay.
Agree?
Yeah.
Stamp on it?
Yep.
Man. Okay.
People will
Let's go
ruin
ahead. Well,
anything though.
yes, that is the truth. Okay, so I told Hector, I said I got a top 10 list. He goes, "What's the top 10 list about?" I said, "I'm not going to tell you. I want you to be caught flat-footed, trying to see if you can come up with any of these." This is my favorite things. Okay, my favorite things is to try to see how little Hector really knows about comics. He puts on a big front, but let's see. So the list is top 10 best Batman retcons. Top 10 best Batman retcons. So things that were not true in the original story a million years ago, but have been changed. And I want to see if you can think of any that might be on this list. Let's see if you can think of any that might be on this list.
I don't even get like a multiple choice or
No, of
anything.
course not. Things that you look at and you go, that had to have been added later. There's some that are pretty basic to who Batman is now. I just want to see if you can name one thing you go that probably was in the original story that is on this list, and then I'll go through the top 10.
He doesn't use guns.
Well done, sir. You want to roll the dice and see if you can come up with two?
I'm sure I can come up with two. Um, this one might not count as a Batman one, but it is in a Batman book, so I think it should, and they're wrong for not including it.
Okay.
But in Batman Hush, um, Jason Todd was not actually in the issue. It was Clayface in disguise.
Okay.
The Batman annual that followed that retconned it and said that it was Jason for half the fight, and he ducked out and swapped out with Clayface.
Gotcha. Yeah, that was on the list. Yeah, you
Th-
lost all your marbles. Lost
no,
all of
I
them.
I said that wouldn't be on it, but it should be. Um, let's see. He
It's
didn't
there's one that's really closely tied to the no guns.
the not killing people.
Yeah, that was number 10. So number 10, DC added Batman's no kill rule as he became more friendly. So that was one that they had added
Jimmy,
in
don't give me like the actual info, but give me some stuff that it's around and see if I can like give me like a rough topic.
okay. Yeah, I got you. Got you. Do we tell you the date on that one when that was retconned?
I would say that one was late 50s, early 60s.
So it was right after the introduction of Robin in 1940. So now he's got this kid that's running, which makes sense. You got a kid running around with you now as a little sidekick. We can't be murdering people. You have a child with you, so they had to adjust that. You already said Batman's rule against using guns came early in his history. That one was came as early as Batman Volume 1, number 4. All right, so here we go. The number eight has to do with the event that made Batman Batman.
Uh, with his parents killing.
Mm-hmm.
Was it that it went from the opera to the movies?
No, that was not it. You want to guess again?
Was it that it was Joe Chill or not Joe Chill?
Yes, Joe Chill or not Joe Chill. Bouncing back and forth, and so they went back and said it definitely is Joe Chill. So that was
Yeah,
that
that
one.
one changes all the time.
Yep. All right. So the next one has to do with a villain. It has to do with a villain. They retconned their story, and it has to do with let's see, how do I want to phrase this?
Is it the Joker's origin and Jack Napier
No, that's a great guess, but no, it's not that. This one is one of the villains from Batman and Robin, the wonderful George Clooney Batman movie.
with Riddler or Mr. Freeze or Poison Ivy?
Well,
Um,
Riddler was Batman Forever,
Thank
so
you. So, yep, yep,
boom
yep.
goes the dynamite, and
Poison Ivy or Mr. Freeze or Bane?
it was Mr. Freeze, Mr. Freeze, and so they adjusted something about his story.
That Nora was just cryogenically frozen instead of dead, or
That
vice
she
versa.
even that she even existed. That was
Yeah,
why he was doing what he was
yeah.
doing.
I
Yeah.
know that wasn't originally the motivation. No.
Yep. Next one has to do. I thought you were getting close there because you were talking about Jason Todd. There's one that has to do with Jason Todd, uh, but it's not that he was not Clayface. This is number 6.
That he died because people made phone calls.
Oh, that you know what? That one would have been a really good one, but no.
That he
This
had red
one,
hair.
uh, I guess his origin, almost I completely mimicked Dick Grayson, and then they changed it so that it wasn't the exact same backstory.
Hmm.
Um, so.
Yeah, they changed it to the stealing the Batmobile tire.
There you go. All right. Next one has to do with Alfred. Has to do with Alfred. Something they changed about Alfred. Um,
That he once had superpowers.
oh, listen, I knew you were going to go there because that's what I said. That was a different story. Nope, wasn't that one. It was that originally he was not a father figure to Bruce Wayne. That kind of grew
He was just a servant.
as just a servant. Yeah.
Yeah.
This next one, I don't know how to explain because I don't understand it because I haven't read the 3 paragraphs underneath it. But the picture they attach to it has got the Batman Zur-En-Arrh and some other weird looking creature. It looks like maybe Mr. Mixelpictic, but as a maybe is that Batmite? Maybe
Yeah,
is that what
Batmite.
that's supposed to be? So it has something to do with that, I guess, because that's the picture. I'm reading the paragraphs now.
Is it from the fact that the Batman of Zur-En-Arrh was an old like space story, and then they made it when he did Batman Rest in Peace? It became his alter ego after he went insane.
No, but that would have been another good one. Like you're coming up with better ones than this article writer did,
I
so we
would
should
have hoped
definitely,
so.
yeah, we would have do this. No, it says that the Black Casebook explains some of Bruce's wilder
Yeah,
adventures.
that's that.
Is that what that is?
It's part
Okay,
of it. Like the Batman Rest in Peace storyline is focusing on the Black Case book. But
gotcha.
it's taking the stories from the Black Case book and giving them realistic groundings. So instead of
Okay.
him being in an alternate dimension, uh he meets the Batman of Zur-En-Arrh because he's been pumped full of weapons grade heroin.
Hmm.
And so that's why he's seeing Batmite and Zur-En-Arrh.
Okay. Next one has to do with Batman War Games. Batman War Games. Um,
That Stephanie Brown didn't actually die.
yes, that was it. That was it.
Yep.
So there we go. Very nice. Number 2 has to do with Harvey Dent. District Attorney Harvey Dent.
Bringing Gilda in.
Oh, no, another good thought
Oh,
there, but
that was
nope.
a retcon.
Um, it comes from Batman: The Long Halloween, I guess, or it's highlighted
Oh, that
heavily
he
in.
was part of like the team up with uh Gordon and Batman, and that they were working
Yeah,
together before he became Two-Face.
yeah, they were friends. That they had a
Yeah.
friendship.
Yeah.
And oh, I didn't know this one. I must have read it. And the number 1 has to do with Commissioner Gordon. Commissioner Gordon.
Him having another kid named James.
Oh, good one. Nope, that's not it.
Him getting divorced.
Nope,
Him
nope. It has to do
cheating.
with timelines.
Well, he's gotten strategically younger over the years. He was super old to begin with, and then yeah, but go ahead.
So you're like barking up that tree. Commissioner Gordon and Batman came to Gotham at the same time. So that would if they were both younger, whatever else, not grizzled. But yeah. So
Okay.
It says when DC published Frank Miller's Batman Year One, Gordon's relationship with the Dark Knight shifted. In this new era, Gordon was relatively new to the job and one of Gotham's only clean cops. With no one else to turn to, Gordon begins to rely on Batman, who in turn uses him as a contact within the GCPD. This foundational connection with Gotham has worked so well that it's been adapted into live action and cartoons alike. So, not bad. I would say I'd give you a good 75. I'd give you a good 75 on those. Not bad. Not bad. So there you go. That was on comicbookreader.com, CBR.com. Is that
So
Comic
was
Reader? Comic Reader is the app. CBR is Comic
comic
Reader.
book
There you go.
resources?
There we go. That was it. CBR is the app that I have to read comics, I guess. So, so that's our news. We were too lazy to really look at a whole lot of stuff, but that's okay. We were spending our time reading comics, which we did this week. We read comics, and we have several things to share with you guys. Things that we liked, or things that we found interesting but we didn't like, or things that we didn't find interesting or didn't like but felt like we needed to talk about anyways. So I have four and a spiritual content. Hector, what do you got?
I've got a pile, and we'll figure it out as we go.
Okay.
Um, I'll say one out the gate that was just a delightful entry was Romeo and Juliet and Godzilla.
Romeo and Juliet and Godzilla. I didn't have that one. Tell me about Romeo and Juliet and Godzilla.
It is exactly what it sounds like.
Is there a
Um,
Romeo and Juliet and Godzilla?
yeah.
Oh wow, I didn't see that
Uh,
coming.
uh, but effectively, it is 100% the story of Romeo and Juliet, actual Shakespeare dialogue, but they are just okay with the fact that Godzilla is walking around as part of the story.
Nice.
And they even tie it up to the fact that Godzilla is part of House Montague and that Mothra is part of Capulet.
Really? Okay.
And so it literally plays out as just a straight Shakespeare dialogue. And they don't even necessarily acknowledge Godzilla much. He's just part of the story. And whereas at the end of Romeo and Juliet, they just take the drugs to fake suicides and such. In
Yeah.
this, they take chemicals to become kaiju.
What do they become?
I don't know exactly what to call it. Um, Romeo gets a kind of a Hulk vibe,
Okay.
a kind of disgusting Hulk vibe, and Juliet just dies. So, and then there's a fight with Godzilla and
How
Mechagodzilla.
tragic.
Yep. Uh, I think he takes the Kaiju potion to do it. Oh no, here's what it is. Um, he takes the Kaiju potion to get closer or whatever, and he dies because of it. And then she um shuffles off her mortal coil with a piece of the stained glass uh roof that Mothra breaks in. Uh, it's
Okay.
fun. The art's great. If you like Shakespeare, it's just a delightful read. If you like Godzilla, it's a delightful read. And they even throw in a bonus story at the back, which is Godzilla meets Robin Hood and his merry band of outlaws.
Nice.
Um, the artwork covers are great. There's some variants that are pretty collectible. This was just one of those. I spent money on it. I read it. It was fun. Now, it's not obviously continuing. It's a one shot, but it's $8 for a one shot.
Okay.
Um, and I was not a big fan of that, but it was a fun process, and I'm here for it.
Okay. Nice. My first one has no story. No story. It is the first of five of the official guidebooks for Ghost Machine. So Ghost Machine is at the point now where people need to be clued into what's going on, and so they've released these guidebooks that go over all the different characters. Um, and so this is the first one. They have two for the unnamed universe. So for those that don't know about Ghost Machine, they have three universes they're working in now. No, four. Four universes they're working in. The unnamed is kind of like their big crossover universe they're building. So there's a lot of heroes there. So this is kind of going over them. Some of my favorites are my favorite is Geiger in there, but I also love uh, Junkyard Joe and for the most part, I do like Simon Pure as Redcoat. But anyways, it just goes over little bios for all of them, and so it was fun reading through and going, "Oh, I remember that. I remember that happening." I was trying to see there was a couple that I did not remember. Like I don't remember these things, and so I'm going like, did I miss an issue somewhere? Specifically, First Ghost #1. I wonder if I missed that because I don't remember the Committee on Spectral Affairs. I don't remember that one. So yeah, but no, it was neat. I enjoyed reading through, remembering the different stories. All the goodness of Ghost Machine in here. So first issue is Unnamed Universe. Second issue is Unnamed Universe. Third issue is The Unbelievables, which is their like family friendly stuff. Fourth is Rook, which is another story I really enjoyed, but that's not in the Unnamed Universe. That's one where they have these animal helmets that they control animals on this planet. And the last one is High, was the scary stuff. And I don't like scary stuff. So there we go. Ghost Machine, the Ghost Machine Universe's Deluxe Edition, official guidebook to the. That was my first one. It's got a little wraparound cover. It's something Ghost Machine does a lot of. They do a lot of wraparound covers, which I'm here for. I enjoy a good wraparound cover. So yeah.
All right.
What you got?
I'm gonna go with Daredevil #1.
Boy, it's on my list. Here it is.
See, I got a fancy one.
Oh, I brought my blind bag unopened to open on the show today to see what we had. So
Well, that's you
tell
being
me
more
about it.
dedicated because I've got a blind bag that I'm not opening. But you can have that. But look, it's if you look at the cover, it's got like a demon in the broken stained glass.
Nice. So tell me your thoughts on it, and then I'm gonna tell you my thoughts on it because it was on my list. And then I'll
Um,
open my blind bag.
I wasn't necessarily overall impressed. Um, but it's a million times better than where we were in the last Daredevil story with the fungus.
Yes. Yes. It's definitely above fungus. It's below the seven
Deadly
vengeful
Sins.
spirits. Yeah. Like it's below that, but I'm he was a priest before, now he's a law teacher. Really wishes the harder job. I don't know. So
Yeah, and
yeah.
the going that route and giving him something, him teaching law is a nice touch. Uh, but I will definitely say it's better than the fungus, which helped. Um, and while it wasn't a bad story, I do enjoy Stephanie Phillips as a writer. The introduction of the new kind of foil, not
That panel
foil.
right there. I enjoyed that panel.
I
That
was
one was
about to say,
good.
like showing the different costumes and stuff. Yeah, that was a great
Yes.
one. The kind of foil or adversary in the law school, nice touch. Enjoy her. She'll be a
Yep.
romantic interest in no time. Um,
Does this guy exist anywhere else?
no, that's what I was going to talk about. He's new to
Awesome. Tell me about
this.
it. Tell me about it.
Well, I mean, there's not a lot to tell, but just like we're introduced to this character who's effectively a shepherd, like a prophetic shepherd who's there to tell Matt Murdock that he's going to die. And I don't know this dude's whole vibe yet,
Yeah.
but you've got a dude who effectively looks like a Daredevil costume, but as a shepherd with a little bit of a Knights of a Templar vibe. Um, he's why I'm interested. Um,
Yeah.
I have an affinity for shepherds and biblical ideology and such. And this guy adds a nice little touch to that mythos. Also, there was an independent comic book for a number of years called The Shepherd, about a pastor with a staff, who was going into hell to rescue his daughter from some stuff, and that was a good book. And this gave me some of those vibes, and I'm interested to see what they do with the playing out of this. They don't give you much of anything.
No.
We get more out of the law school lady than we get out of this guy. Um, but Daredevil's not a giant fungus.
Yes.
And
I second
that's
that.
the win right there.
I see. All right. So let's see what is in my blind bag. And I'm gonna open it because I'm not gonna sit here and in 20 years go, I still had a blind bag. So let's see. I'm not even gonna see it first. I'm gonna reveal it on here.
You got the paper first.
Oh,
That's
paper
the
first.
Yeah, that's the slip cover.
Same one I've got.
Same
Boom.
one.
Which one is it? Which one was the which one? Which one?
Still the one in your left hand is the
Is that how that works? I'm just gonna glue this to the cover, so at least I think it's different. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna glue
Yeah.
it.
I like that the fact that on that slip cover it's already got the spaces cut out for the staples.
Yeah,
That's super nice, actually.
yeah. All right, so that was your number two, and I guess mine as well. So I'm gonna move on.
You go ahead.
Um, all right, so uh, I'm all caught up, all caught up. New issue of Batman. Um, and so my question is when we jumped into this, is there some kind of continuity that we're coming where Poison Ivy is the mayor before this, or is this all new stuff like here?
This is all new stuff, and this is the current timeline of Poison Ivy. So I've actually got, I think I've got it in my pile right here to talk about, because the issue that sets that up is a groundbreaker, air quotes, in this storyline. Oh, golly gee, there's a lot of
So
comments over here.
while you're looking, we've got Alan Scott is introduced here. They have introduced into this timeline, not as a I know who it is. Sitting down with Batman having a cup of coffee, and that was a fun little scene. Them talking about those things and leaning on
That
each
was a
other.
nice scene. Oh, it's right here.
Um,
The issue right before this one, so I want to say it's issue 42, Poison Ivy becomes mayor, but go ahead.
so we had that nice conversation, and then we have. I was so confused because you've got Savage, Vandal Savage is police commissioner and Poison Ivy is mayor. And so in my head, I'm trying to like cut through stuff because I've got that, but then I'm thinking about another one of my stack here, Ra's al Ghul being over the Peacekeepers, and then I'm watching Daredevil and Kingpin's mayor, and I'm going like, what is happening here? Um, so I wasn't sure like, did this happen before? So you tell me it happens in the Poison Ivy storyline.
And
That
just right before that.
I got you. I got you. But it was even interesting interaction between the two of them, um, kind of coupled with I don't know. Is this old man supposed to be Lucius Fox? Like that's what I was wondering. Like, is this Lucius Fox talking to somebody? The old man talking to the boy at the car at
No,
the end?
no, he's the guy that you've seen playing around since ep issue 3 of that Batman run.
Okay,
We're introduced to him.
gotcha.
But
I
the
gotcha.
kid that's with him is the kid that's got video footage of the cops doing
That's
illegal
right.
stuff.
That's right. Um, so yeah, so I'm still in. I'm looking forward to the next one. Um, but yeah, so that was that. What were your thoughts on said issue?
I enjoyed it. Yeah, I mean wasn't, it's been a while since I read that one, so I didn't put it in my pools. Like just because it's maybe 3 weeks since I read that. Um, so I'd honestly forgotten. Um, but like some of the stuff with Ivy just doesn't sit well with me, but we'll get there in a minute. I liked it. I'm the lady that was developing the technology and the brain control stuff. I enjoy that part of the story more than a lot of the
Yes.
rest of it. So I'm
Yep.
like, let's get back. Let's get
Let's get
back.
back to that. Yeah. Yeah. I'm with you on that.
All right, so that's
Uh,
two.
I've got one more now because you stole one of mine. So I've got one more and
Yeah.
then my spiritual content.
Well, let me burn through a couple real fast then. Um, or at least one more, and then I'll let you go to this. So I'm just gonna say Author Immortal ended with number 5 for this current arc. Um, it's a way deeper story than it has any right being, and it covers a lot of ground on stuff that's heavy and heavy-hearted and heavy-handed. So I enjoyed it a lot just from a storytelling perspective, and part of me wonders, is this story allegorically, like, not bashing but talking about J.K. Rowling? Uh
Hmm.
but it's also got a little bit more of stuff in terms of uh identity and parenting and adultery, and there's just a lot of deep themes that go into it. And yeah, it definitely had me like in places where I'm like checking myself emotionally and mentally and stuff when it comes to actually reading some of it with it. So that's one that I had. um I'm just gonna throw out a couple other little factoids real fast and we'll move on.
Yeah.
Before we get the actual last good one. Uh Poison Ivy 42 canonically speaking, if this matters to you, is the point in time where Ivy and Harley Quinn officially break up for real for the first time since they've been a couple or whatever. And Ivy breaks up with Harley so that she looks more legitimate as a political figure. And there's like a pretty heartbreaking scene with that going on in there. Um, Absolute Batman, uh, 19 has done some stuff, and let me just say, they have made Scarecrow, or the Straw Man as they call him, way scarier in this than maybe any
Picture of it, yes. Mm,
um way scarier in this than anything I have seen in a hot minute.
mm.
Like it's rough, and he literally can just cause people to commit mass murder just by looking at them and talking to them. And it's one of the straight up most horror movie scenes I've ever seen.
Mm.
Of him just walking around like nonchalantly causing murders. But they also introduced the fact that Slade Wilson is over the Robin program, and in this one panel, you're introduced to effectively a Power Rangers level group of all the Robins.
I'm in.
Like I would read this whole book, but like they introduced the fact that Tim Drake, um Stephanie Brown, Jason Todd, Dick Grayson, and Duke Thomas are all on a little teenage superhero Power
Nice.
Rangers type team.
Nice.
Um, so that's the thing.
Nice.
Uh, and this is my last. This is just for information. This isn't necessarily my polls, but y'all, if you care about stuff that you might be missing, um, the newest issue of X-Men 26, or if what do you call those people that are the not speculators, but maybe it is the people that are just hunting the milestone or the key moments
Mm-hmm.
or whatever. Uh
Prospector?
pro Maybe that. Uh Uncanny X-Men 26. We get officially the X-Men who have been the teens in X-Men 1 through 25 as
Okay.
officially are now declared the New Mutants. So
There we
we
go.
have the official birth of a new X-Men team in this, and we get a really sweet Nightcrawler moment, but like there's an unnecessary amount of Nightcrawler cheesecake in this.
Mm.
Like of them, like I get it, we that women are constantly visually depicted
Yes.
like in compromising poses. So Nightcrawler had a date with a woman a few issues back, and the date ended when a rogue mutant showed up at their house and put a knife to her throat.
Mm.
And so she hasn't seen Nightcrawler since then. Um, one of the mutants or one of the kids in the house comes and wakes Nightcrawler up and says it's an emergency, and he comes downstairs in his tidy whities, and he plays out the rest of the book in his tidy whities. And also, how did tidy whities work with the tail?
Got a little slit, man. It's got a little trap door. He's wearing it backwards. Instead of the trap door on the front, the trap door's on the back. That's what it is.
I want to know what the canon answer to that is, and I'm going to ask Gail Simone.
There you
Um,
go. You
but
should.
like, it's only a couple pages, but like, literally, we've got some really dope Nightcrawler dialogue that I couldn't post on Instagram because he's all in his booty cheeks, and so I get it. It's like equal representation, but
Quid
like,
pro quo.
yeah, quid pro quo. It's like nobody can complain about a dude being in his undies in comics if you've ever read a comic, because
Yeah.
all right, that's all my new stuff. Tell us your last book.
All right. Last one is Absolute Superman.
Surprise.
number 18. And so a couple things in this one. So if you've been following along, it's been great. And I remember if it was the last one or the one before, they found this cave in Egypt, and you're like, ooh, what's this going to be? And it is the story of King Shazam, which is Black Adam. Black Adam is Shazam here. And so a lot of Moses vibes with the Hebrew slave being whipped and all those things. I don't so in here, Brainiac comes and turns him into Shazam. That's how he gets his abilities, is from Brainiac. Several Brainiacs that are coming and torturing him. Um, so there's that piece. A couple of things that I thought was interesting. We also have kind of a backdoor introduction to Steel. It doesn't say this is Steel, but it's the absolute version of Steel, where it's a guy and he's got a giant hammer and it's made of steel. And he comes in and fights by using science and all this other stuff. So I was like, okay, that's Steel. But going to our introduction of the adult Black Adam, King Shazam, right here on the back. So that's what we're gonna be seeing. Next issue is King Shazam in all his glory. So looking forward to that.
So are you still totally comfortable rocking on with that book? Not
Yeah, man.
tired of it? Okay.
Yeah, I am. I am. Like I'm good. Like this. Yep, I'm good. So yeah, so that was my last one, Superman. I mean, I've got others that are up here that I enjoyed, but it didn't make the cut. Iron Man number 4. There were several advertisements inside Iron Man. I was like, oop, gotta add that to the list, add that to the list. Um, but that I got my Ninja Turtles. It got super weird with a giant skeleton monster that absorbs Splinter, that comes from the Netherworld. It's, but it is what it is. Beggars can't be choosers. And when I go to get my pulls and there's 2 issues and we have an episode due that week, I'm not cutting anything yet. So that's that.
So I'm gonna throw one last one just for not the spiritual content, but just as a official pull. Superman 37. This is the second issue that is just on Superboy Prime,
Okay.
filling in for Superman. Um, this is freaking fun.
Okay.
This is the most fun Superman book I've read.
Nice.
Not just this issue, but the Williamson ones with Prime being the main character. So if you go back to issue 36 and 37 and just pick up those two, it's delightful.
Nice.
And I love Superman books, but this is fun. And so like this is Prime visiting the Kents
Mm,
and wanting to get the parental love that he didn't get anywhere else. And so the JSA Red um is hovering over the Kent farms to take him out in case he crosses a line. And it's just like this weird scenario. But because Prime exists in the world where all of our pop culture exists, and he knows all about the Superman comics and movies and TV shows and stuff. Um, Prime is just sitting there eating lunch. He's like, "Man, I'm glad you two are alive." They're like, "What?" He's like, he said there are some who prefer Clark's parent or prefer Clark Kent's parents dead, or like you had another heart attack, Jonathan. Surprisingly, Mark Wade wishes you two for 6 feet under. Personally, I like it when you're here. And like, there's literally an editor's note. This is true, Mark Wade. Um, but
mm,
there's all these conversations, but then it's still got Prime working in a comic book shop, getting in trouble for being late because he's saving the world, but also being the best comic book employee ever. And then they give you the strategically super attractive nerd girl who's trying to invite Prime over to her abode to read comics. And he
here you go.
literally, and then he literally says, "Why would I go there? I have all the comics here."
That's right.
And
Exactly.
just exactly like
Exactly.
um
Say less. Yes, that's true.
and I don't expect you to know these things because this is a deep TikTok cut. Um, but TikTok sells junk, right? Like stupid stuff.
Yeah.
One of the stupid things TikTok is selling right now is a fat Jason Todd plushie.
Okay.
Like, and you can Google fat Jason Todd plushie or fat Red Hood plushie, and you'll find exactly what I'm talking about. They got him like big ballooned fat Jason Todd as a plushie. That thing basically only exists on TikTok. It's not real anywhere else. Prime is wearing a necklace of the fat Jason Todd plushie from TikTok
Uh,
in this, and it's just so fun. Um, but he's trying to figure out how to deal with being the unloved, unwanted child of the Superman family. So he tracks down Damian to ask Damian Wayne, how do you deal with being the formerly murderous, unloved kid out of your family? And they have an adventure together with Clayface, and he's like, "You're my favorite version of Clayface." And Clayface is like, "Shut up." And they're just having good moments, and it's a
nice.
fun story. Um, there and uh, I'm going to segue into my spiritual content because it's in here
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah.
Before I have my anti-spiritual comment content.
Oh, I wonder if we have the same. We'll see.
Doubtful. Are they on the anti-spiritual?
Maybe. Who
I
knows?
doubt it. Like I mentioned, that the Justice League is just watching over him and not giving him a chance to thing. And she says, "I know you mean well," and she calls Power Girl out of the sky and tells her to stop. But she says, "I know you mean well. You're angry at what Prime did, but you can't expect him to learn if you're always watching him like this. Sometimes the true sign of a good person is how they act when no one is watching. You gotta let him try." And it reminded me just of the fact of, one, giving people second chances to be able to actually redeem themselves, but also there's a scripture that says the integrity of the upright.
Hmm.
Let me type that in so I get it correctly. Integrity of the it's Proverbs 11:3. The integrity of the upright guides them, but the unfaithful are destroyed by their duplicity. And she straight up is just saying, listen, give the boy a chance to show that his integrity is actually improved. And we're definitely a culture that we're really quick to write people off as soon as you've made one mistake. You don't give people a
Yeah.
chance to show they've grown, and it's probably a wise choice for us to give people chances. So
Yeah. That's a good point. Good
spiritual
point.
content, go ahead.
Spiritual content. So my spiritual content comes
I
from.
hated that book. It was so
So
bad.
listen,
Oh.
but I'm reading this. I'm going the first bit here. Okay. So Firestorm is coming to Earth, and it goes through 7 days of creation, creepy Firestorm style. And so the first, let's see. So it says, on the first day, the nuclear man descended from the heavens. On the second day, the nuclear man walked into the town of Bedford, Colorado. On the third day, the nuclear man began to experiment. He wanted to know what it would be like to live in a world of glass and chalk, so he made one. On the fourth day, the nuclear man transformed not only their world, but them as well. And on the fifth day, realizing what he had done, the nuclear man wept. On the sixth day, the nuclear man decided any vestiges of emotion he once had were no longer of any consequence. And on the seventh day, he rested. And so, in the beginning of this, it reminded me of conversations I had as youth pastor. I had this kid who said, "Yes, I'm a Christian, but if I had to pick a second theological system, I would want the Greek gods. Like that's what I would want to have." And I remember going like, I don't understand like why that is the one you choose, where all the gods are these petulant, selfish, vindictive, violent, hateful creatures. Like that's what it is. And that's what this reminded me of. That if it's obviously mirroring the 7 days of creation and the language that's used there. But if there was no emotion and there was just destruction and hate and whatever else, that it would level a whole town. And so it was interesting juxtaposing that with the creation story. The fact that in the beginning the spirit hovered over the waters, and there's this move from chaos to order. So I was like, oh, that is interesting. That for the rest of the book, uh, Raymond is not in his mind, and it's just kind of a mindless Firestorm that's going through and
It
destroying
gave me
things.
Dr. Manhattan vibes.
Yeah, I can see that. That's some real similar stuff there. I can definitely see that. Um, I mean, especially he's an otherworldly being without emotion and just kind of wanders around and is just changing the general structure, which definitely is Dr. Manhattan. Um, yeah. I don't know that I'm getting book two, but I was like, oh, that is
I did
interesting.
a sketch cover of it.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
you
I
got it
did a.
handy?
No, it's in the other side of the house.
Uh,
um,
Not helpful. Not
sorry,
helpful.
I posted it on the socials. It'll be somewhere on there. Because
Nice.
I did that one in Batwoman #1.
I got
Um,
you.
and I have Woman #2, but I drew on the cover of Batman of Woman #1 without reading it first, so I need to go back and do
Mm.
that. Um, I'm gonna just throw this out. You're not a scary movie person, right? That's not your jam.
It's not my jam. Not my jam.
So
Now, if there's content that I go, man, I really want to know that story to some degree, I can put it on mute, turn subtitles on, and turn all the lights on in the house and pray the whole time, and I might be able to make it through the movie, but usually no, it's not my jam.
so I grew up as a teenager on horror movies. That was like what me and my friends watched. That's how I made friends with a lot of the teenage guys that I was friends with. One of the scariest horror movies to me when I was a teenager that I loved, I actually watched it in theaters maybe 3 times, um, was a horror sci-fi movie called Event Horizon.
Dude, that one jacked me up. I did see that one. That's the one with the dude from Jurassic Park, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh man, that's jacked me up. I remember watching. For me, here's the deal: if I start watching it, I have to finish watching it, hoping that there's a happy ending. Spoiler alert: there's not a happy ending on that one.
No, that movie was like trauma. And I loved it. It was like I definitely watched it in theaters at least 3 times. Um, but like it's like I see your face and you're gonna feel me when I tell you what I did. I didn't go to the comic book shop this week because a kid like for the past, I don't know, 3 months, there's been a 12-year-old in my church who's been wanting to read this Spider-Man story called Death Spiral.
Right, right, right.
So I've picked up all 9 issues of Death Spiral as they've come out to get to this kid. Well, I didn't go on Wednesday because life be lifing. And so since I didn't go, and maybe not since I didn't go, but it timed out. I did not go on Wednesday and get the last issue of Death Spiral. So his family went to the comic book shop on Sunday or Saturday for the first time ever and got comics. And so his mom said, "Hey, you're always getting comics for us. Do you want me to pick anything up for you?" Um, I was like, "If you don't mind, get my box, get whatever's in my pulls, and get me the next Detective Comics because I'm giving this Black Canary Green Arrow story a shot. It hasn't made my pulls yet, but it's not the worst." Um, but I saw that there was an Event Horizon #1 on the comic shelves, and I didn't know. Like, just I just saw that it was listed. I didn't know if it was related to the movie. I didn't know if it was just a similar title, whatever. And so we got this Event Horizon
Same
Inferno
font.
#1. Oh, it's 1,000% a sequel, and it's not just. This is the second sequel to the movie. I missed the first. Not that I missed it, but I missed the first arc that goes before this. But here's the deal. That movie, like you said, jacked me up. And um
The shortest distance between 2 points, a straight line? No, it's zero. Yeah, that whole thing going into hell.
so like if it was that, I was this. It starts out with back on Earth or whenever, and it has two boys performing a straight up satanic ritual. I'm not kidding. Like I am pretty callous when it comes to scary horror stuff like that. Like I play Resident Evil for fun. Like it's like that stuff doesn't necessarily set my spotty Holy Spirit sense off at all. When I tell you that the imagery on the first 2 pages of this literally put a deadlock on my spirit. Like
Mm.
to be able to say nope. Like
Mm,
I like dropped the book. I was
mm.
reading this at work today. Don't tell anybody. At my
It
community
was your
college.
lunch break. It was your lunch break, I'm sure.
Absolutely. Wink, wink. Um, but like, here's the thing. I read through the rest of it, but there was enough of like just the satanic imagery of like that what these two boys were performing because they were just wanted to not die, so they were trying to perform satanic rituals to prevent death. And so that played to the part that they're back out into space looking for the event horizon, and they've tracked down the one human offering that the ship is waiting for, and they brought it with them
Mm.
and didn't tell any of the crew. Now, here's the deal: the rest of the pages just felt like a sci-fi comic book, but like it was like enough to say, "Oh man, I did not expect." And I don't know if it was because it's Event Horizon
Right.
and that I already had that like
EGBs?
the heebie-jeebies from growing up being scared of this movie.
Yeah.
If it hit me harder or if I'm just generally but like it was enough to be like, you know what? I don't want to open this again. Like
Mm.
part of me wanted to show you the heebie-jeebie pages, but I'm like, you know what? Let's not.
Thank you. Thank you for that.
On another note, and this is much less traumatizing, but also I'm an idiot.
Okay. I won't argue with you.
Um, I saw a creepy comic called Smile for the Camera. Um, and I saw a second issue of it, and I'm like, this is an interesting artwork and whatever. And I was just like, you know what? I'll buy it. Let's see what this is. I'm a dummy in the fact that I didn't realize that
Same issue?
Smile, huh?
Oh, I thought you were saying it was the same issue. That'd be fun too.
No, no, that'd be dumb too. But yeah, um, Smile for the Camera is a sequel to the movie Smile, where people like start seeing everybody smiling and then they die within a certain time period. There's two movies in it. There's a horror franchise. I didn't realize this was part of that franchise. I thought I just read it as Smile for the Camera, not Smile, comma, colon, slash, dash for the camera.
For the
It,
camera. Mm.
and it's about fashion models who this demon thing is possessing. I'm just like, oh, I'm a dummy. So like
Okay.
that one didn't like affect me spiritually. I'm just like, that's dumb. But I was like, man, I it was like when they say, yeah, be careful what you read, be careful what you watch. Like there's been a
Yeah.
it's been a minute since I felt like my radar go off like no. And that was like
Mm.
a hard pass. So we'll be burning that book in the backyard after this
There you go.
episode.
That sounds like a great plan. Great plan. Oh man. Uh yeah.
Um
Not on my list. Not on my list. We have a happy note. Can we have a happy note
we
somewhere,
can I'm gonna
please?
give you a happy note.
There we go.
I didn't do a full review on this one or anything just to say it, but this is the next one. This is Spider-Man, Superman. The other one was Superman, Spider-Man. Um,
Okay.
I don't know if you got this. They did Batman and Deadpool.
I
Then
got
they did
Batman Deadpool.
Deadpool and Batman.
I didn't do Deadpool and Batman. Or at least I don't think I did. Now I don't know which one I got because I didn't know there was a difference. So I mean
It's
I get it now. Semantically I get it.
it's the difference of which company is getting paid.
Gotcha.
So
Gotcha.
this one is like it depends on which character's name starts first.
I got you.
So if it's
Is this the one with Mary Jane and Lois Lane comparing notes on being, or is that the other one?
that's the other one.
Okay, I got that one. I got that
That
one.
that one was on my polls. This is the new one that just came out this week.
I got you.
And this one, I would just say this one features a story of Brad Meltzer, who is one of my all-time favorite writers, doing a Batman Superman or a Spider-Man Superman story. I'll say this one's not as good as the last one.
Okay.
It is good. It has its definite redeeming moments, but some of it feels pretty darn redundant.
Is that one the
Um,
one that's got the Spider-Man Noir and the Golden Age Superman? Is that one in there?
yeah.
Yes. Okay. I saw that somewhere. It was highlighted somewhere I was watching. So I got you.
And there's also, but it feels like they just keep having. There's also a Wonder Woman and Jane Foster Thor,
Okay.
which is a nice story, and it shows Jane like in her cancerous state, saying she's not really worthy and she'd rather Wonder Woman to carry it. And Wonder Woman's like, no, you are absolutely worthy. And like,
Mm,
there's good moments, but
yeah,
once you get past the initial stories, this one starts to feel redundant.
I got
Um,
you.
but it's worth reading to me for Brad Meltzer. So that's
Nice.
here's just to put this all in perspective, minus 3 issues that are on my couch. Here's all the comics I got since our last episode.
Now it was a weird one because remember we did it like a week early, so
Right, yeah.
I think I got some in my box too. I just got to figure out a time to go to Gainesville. That's the deal. Do I want to make that hike to go get some more comics? Probably soon, probably soon. Oh man, nice. We gonna wrap us up, bud?
Yeah. Thank you all for taking the time to listen, to watch. Remember, you can watch us on the Glue Network. That's GLU on your Roku devices. You can find us on the Love Thy Nerd YouTubes at Love Thy Nerd or LTN Pull List at YouTube. And you can find us with lots of other great podcasts, from wrestling to comics to board games. There's lots of cool stuff out there. But we hope you'll join back with us. And remember, kids, read
more
comics. Bye.
I'm gonna take all 7 continents as a game of risk.